Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? Welcome into a live episode of the Flock Rundown. Got a special guest, Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Films. I'm sure most of you guys have subscribed over there. If you haven't, please go check his stuff out. Breaks down a lot of game film, knows more football than most of us, and has been around the game a lot longer. Every time I go over there, I learn something from every single video. So all the links are in the description. Go show him some love. But what's up, Coach? How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday night?
I'm doing well, man. How yourself? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. A little tired. Been grinding the videos and stuff, but yeah, it's been cool, man.
I think we all have been doing so. Just trying to, keep up with the new faces and potentially see what the team gonna look like in 2025.
100%. Yeah, I'm excited about this draft class. Let's just dive into it. Let's start with Teddy Buchanan. So a lot of comments that I'm seeing lately are saying that he's going to start over Trenton Simpson year one. I know you did a breakdown of his film a little bit and checked him out in depth. So I wanted to get your thoughts on Teddy Buchanan as a player. What do you like about his game? What do you not love about his game yet? And what do you see his role being in year one? Is he going to push Trenton to start, you think? Do you think it's Trenton's job? Do you think we add a vet? Or, yeah, what's your thoughts on Teddy Buchanan in year one?
Well, I think Teddy was brought in to push Trenton. I think Trenton is a better athlete than him. I think Trenton is better in coverage than him. I think he may be a little bit more cerebral than Trenton, but as far as athletic ability, he has, Teddy outmatched other than that explosive vertical. Teddy is a high motor, run downhill guy, but sometimes that can get him in trouble as well. I think he was brought here to, hey Trenton, get your stuff together, or there's a possibility that you could be in the same boat you were in last year. Now, I would much rather have Trenton on the field, but Teddy could be a guy that definitely, make them, start to wonder about Trenton and see if they need to go in a different direction. Now, Teddy's definitely going to be a special teams monster. I think he'll play all special teams, punt return, kickoff return, and especially if he's not the starter. And I don't think he will be a starter. I think he's going to, get in there, and Trent's hopefully the light's going to come on Trenton, and he's going to, be what everybody wants him to be. And if not, it's gonna be tough on the defense because they need both of those linebackers to be accountable for where they have to be. Because we saw how bad the defense was, and Roquan had to do his job and then try to make sure the other linebacker was where he was supposed to be, and it affected Roquan as well. And I thought Roquan was playing bad, but upon looking back at it, he was doing too much trying to make sure Trenton was where he was supposed to be and playing the gaps he was supposed to, and that was putting him out of position and on the things he needed to do. So I hope Teddy can come in and push Trenton to be the guy that we hope he was going to be, which is made it easier to get rid of Queen. But if not, Teddy can slide in there and get some of those pass rush reps, and maybe they slide Trenton off to the edge. And if he can't do nothing off to the edge, it'll slide him off the team. So but hopefully he can get his stuff together. And because Trent as an athlete is elite.
Yeah. I agree, man. I think the athleticism's there. It does scare me. I'm expecting a leap, honestly. I'm with you. I think Trenton's that's his job to lose, and I'm expecting him to take a leap. I think he's going to learn from those growing pains last year. But it does scare me. That position group is one of few on the roster that scares me because we are a little thin, at least with experience. Like, obviously, we got Roquan, but let's say Trent doesn't work out or is doing similar things that he was doing last year. Like, are we comfortable that we have to put Teddy in? And, I guess we got Jake Hummels too, but he's more of a special teams ace, right? So do you think there's room, or would it be smart to add a vet inside linebacker to that room just for security, for safety, in case like one of the young guys doesn't work out and we're not, having the whole defense struggle like you're talking about?
I think it would be wise, but you got to give these young guys a chance to see what they're gonna do. I don't think it would be wise to bring somebody in right now because then it shows zero faith in either one of them. And I think it's really going to be one of those situations where, like when we picked up, might have been Uncle Bynes. We picked up Uncle Bynes off the street, maybe like week 5 or 6 or something like that. The last little run. Things gonna have
Mhm.
those situations because I think if you bring a guy in right now, and they grown men, so it shouldn't matter. But you're gonna shoot the confidence down on both of them, and probably not more so Teddy, but definitely um, Trenton, because why you already drafted somebody and you bringing somebody else in, and professional athletes, it shouldn't be an issue, but that mental part of it is big, and I think you give them a chance in camp to see if they can do it, and then week 2 or 3 you'll realize, hey, something needs to happen, and then you can start looking at your option. Because I mean, the same people that's out there now, it ain't gonna be much difference week 2 or 3 of training camp. 1 or 2 guys may be gone, but I mean, if we go look at the free agent linebacker group, that group probably ain't no high priority guys out there in that group. So it is
That's
what
what
it
I'm
is.
thinking too.
Then
Yeah, it's like
June 1st
Kendricks.
right around the corner, so it may be a few extra guys out there. Maybe a few extra guys out there June 1st, but it may not be either.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think the Ravens play this very patient, and it seems like the smart move. Honestly, I mean, if I'm running the team too, I want to see what the young guys got. Give them a lot of responsibility and see who's messing up. You know what I mean, and then react accordingly. So yeah, I'm totally with you. Let's change gears a little bit. So we obviously know Tucker got released.
Yeah.
We don't need to. I don't think we need to talk about it, to be honest with you. But let's talk about the future kicking. So we're signing John Hoyland from Wyoming, who's already invited to camp. So he's been at rookie mini camp. But Jeff Zrebiec said yesterday that we're signing him. So bringing in competition. I don't know a ton about kickers, to be honest with you, about like who has the best leg or whatnot. But I like that we're bringing in some competition for Tyler Loop. Do you think we need to add veteran competition, or do you think they let these rookies battle it out? Or is it Tyler Loop's job to lose, since we did use our first draft pick in the history of the franchise on a kicker? Is that his job to lose? Are they really, do you think that they're bringing Loop in to be the guy for sure, and Hoyland's just kind of an extra leg? Or is there a true competition that we're about to watch this offseason?
As much as they like draft capital, I think it is Loop's job to lose. Loop would have to come in here and just get the yips for the other guy to take the job. Now, I do think that it is an open competition, but Loop would have to, quote unquote, mess the bed for that job to be taken from him. But especially with him being a draft pick. If both guys were FAs, I would think it would be an open 50-50 competition. But they actually used draft capital on Loop. And with him being one of the 3 best kickers in NCAA last year, him with, I think, Fitzgerald from Florida State and Borealis from Miami. I don't know if all 3 of those guys, I know Borealis got drafted. I don't know about Fitzgerald. But using draft capital on the kicker, yeah, you pretty much got your foot in the door unless you just come in and don't do anything in camp, and you're just out there just missing and shanking, and he got to be kicking like my short game in golf for him not to make the team.
Yeah, I agree, man. Tyler Loop's job to lose, and it's a weird shift in like Ravens eras, right? Like, I mean, moving on from Tucker, we obviously know why they moved on, but it feels weird to me. I don't know. It feels weird seeing a number 33 kicker out there. But one thing that and it probably means nothing, but it does give me bring back some memories of when we had Tucker as a rookie and won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like now we are a team that is obviously capable of winning a Super Bowl. I mean, I know we've dropped the ball the last 2 years against the Chiefs and Bills in the playoffs, but let's be real. Like, this team is good enough to go all the way if they, what I mean, if they just locked in. So it kind of brings back a little bit of memories where it's like, okay, really, really stacked team, really good team, just was on the brink of, making a run last year. And then now we have a rookie kicker with just as stacked, if not even more stacked of a team. I don't know. Brings back some 2012 memories for me a little bit.
I was saying this the other day. People were complaining about our draft picks. We are so stacked that you're looking for 2 or 3 pieces, and then the rest of your pieces are probably depth. That's how quality built our roster is. And so for us to go the way we did on some of those back end picks, you're looking for depth pieces and not necessarily starters with all 11 picks, because you have legit all pros and all stars and solid starters at a bunch of different positions. So you're looking for depth pieces and competition in the draft. You're not going to get, out of 11 picks, you're not going to get 6 starters. You if you get 3, great. If you get 6 that's going, participate and help the team, even better. But you're not.
How many of the 11 even make the team, you think?
Of that 11,
most, but out of the 11 draft picks that we had, like just a ballpark number, like how many do you think make this year's roster? Not
53 or practice?
Yeah, 53.
5.
Okay, I knew it was low. I was like, there's just not enough room.
5.
Yeah.
Now I think about 9 of them make the
practice squad.
The practice squad,
which is risky though.
Right.
Putting, maybe I don't think. I guess was Vincent our only 5th round pick? They probably won't put him on the practice squad. But like putting a bunch of 6th round picks on the practice squad, they could easily get claimed.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I think some of those guys that were on the practice squad last year are going to be cut. I think some of those guys that like just held on the practice squad spots, like Davenport and some of those offensive linemen that just hung on, I think some of these young guys are going to push them off the roster. I think every offensive lineman that we drafted, some kind of way either is going to be, well, not on 53, but they definitely going to be on that practice squad. And then if not on our practice squad, somebody's going to scoop them up, because I think we got quality guys, with the exception of maybe Dellinger. Dellinger. But and so it's definitely, you'll see our practice squad get picked over when the 53 comes out, because we got a solid roster, and I think we had a solid draft too. So our practice squad would definitely be picked over.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too. I think it's super hard to make the 53, and then we're gonna put guys on the practice squad, but there's like a high chance that they get plucked, which honestly ends up being a waste of the pick. But I think Eric DeCosta knew that. I mean, he said in his press conference prior to the draft, we don't have 11 spots. Right. I was a little shocked he took all 11 picks. I shouldn't be, but I was a little shocked just because he said that. He's like, we don't have 11 spots. So like drafting 11 guys we're going to lose some of them, it's going to be pointless. But let's stay on the offensive line for a second. So, and I know you've been with me on this all off season, but we've been screaming to beef up this offensive line. And they did add, I know they didn't go early in the draft, but can't get everything early. They did add quite a bit to this offensive line. I mean, Emory Jones Jr., Carson Vincent, Garrett Dellinger just in the draft, bunch of undrafted free agents that they're bringing in to compete. They just signed Joseph Noteboom. They brought back Ben Cleveland earlier in this offseason. So I mean, they're putting some resources towards, I don't know how much it'll impact this year. We'll see, but I think there'll be a good competition there, especially at guard, a healthy competition that's much needed. But it also really, kind of puts us in the development of the future, because like guys like a Falele is a free agent. I don't know what's going to happen with him. But do you think the offensive line set as is? Do you think there's a real, and I mean that by like Voorhees and Falele at guard, we know who the tackles and center is, or do you think there's a real competition at guard this year? And yeah, how do you see the offensive line kind of shaking out, and what's your thoughts on it overall?
So I have 2 answers to that. I have what I think should happen, and I have what I think they're going to do. So what I think should happen is you got Ronnie set, you got Linderbaum set, you got Rosengarten set.
Yep.
I think all those other names should be thrown in the hat to compete at guard.
I love it.
The rookies, Voorhees, Falele, Ben Cleveland. I think all of them should go in there to see who's the best 2 guards and fight it out. And the 2 that don't fight it out, you can find you a swing. Vincent's probably gonna be the swing tackle.
Yeah.
Even though I think he could play a certain aspect of guard. Jones, could go in there. Dillinger, being Cleveland, Voorhees and Falele, they might even win it. But I feel like you take all those other names that's not those three and let them fight it out for those guard spots and see if the cream rises to the top. And that way you put your 5 best guys out there and don't let it be a hand picking of Falele just because you like it, or a hand picking of Voorhees just because you like him. It's the NFL. Let the 5 best go play and do it early so they can start get some chemistry about it. Now, what I think they're going to do is Voorhees and Falele, this your job to lose. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
But I would love for competition to happen.
You think that's because of how much like work they put into developing them last year? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're tied to like the project of it, they're like, we have to see this through. Like, we don't want to like move on too quickly, even if somebody looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing is they won't Falele to play to get some kind of buzz about him, because then you got comp pick coming back. You don't forget comp picks always here when
comp picks getting a little ridiculous to me, man. It's getting a little ridiculous. Like, I mean, certain guys, like let's say we let Owe walk, like that's gonna be a comp pick we might want. Like that's a high comp pick, that's a big contract. Something like that does make sense. Like I get that a little bit, but
like, what if Falele gets another Pro Bowl on his resume? A 2-time Pro Bowler. You don't think you can get a third for that? Third round comp pick?
It's all about the contract. It's a contract size, so I don't see Falele making like 15-20 million.
Like, when he go to negotiate with the new team, I'm a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Come on, man. I hope he takes a leap. I hope he's absolutely a baller this year.
Me too.
I really do. Like we're making light of it, but like I am rooting. I'm rooting for like the best guys to win, man. We need a stacked offensive line. If it is Falele, awesome. You know what I mean? But I
want the best 5.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely I think it is going to be Voorhees and Falele. I'm totally with you. I'm praying that there's a real competition, and it sucks that Emory Jones Jr. is not practicing all or most of the offseason. They said he'll be back by training camp. I guess this was like common knowledge. Did you hear of this before?
I didn't hear about it until the mini whatever the camp was, but I don't think it's an issue because that practice that they had is non-contact. The next one that they have is going to be non-contact, and by the time they get to the contact, he'll be fine. So it's not an issue of mine them drafting him with that issue. If this happened right before training camp, yes, because then now you can't get in there and get physical, and we don't know your physicality. But if it happened, whenever it happened, and he'll be good, but for training camp, I'm fine. It don't change. It don't bother me one bit because he can run, he can do everything else. He can't punch and do stuff like that, but he can get in there, he can learn the playbook. Like, having that issue right now is not an issue because he'll be fine once you actually have to practice. Right now, everything's mental and learning and conditioning and conditioning your mind and trying to find some way to stay and getting your routines right now. When it actually comes time to practice in, was it July, he'll be ready.
Yeah. I guess I get PTSD from rookies having injuries early on and then not getting a real chance. So that's like was my only concern. I'm not as worried about like the injury bothering him. I think I was worried about like him, kind of what we were talking about a little bit ago about like Voorhees and Falele are already on the coach's side a little bit. So it's like you got a guy who's got to be slow rolled a little bit because he's not fully healthy, and then maybe he doesn't get as good of a chance to get on the coach's side, I don't know. Just I've seen that happen. So that's why it's been on my mind. But let's shift over to the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. Okay. So I saw you just dropped a video like a few minutes ago. Everyone go check it out.
Right before we went out.
Yeah. Everyone go check that video out. But it's on Nash Hutmaker. And it kind of, when I saw you drop that, it put a spark in my mind about we need to find a Michael Pierce replacement, a big body, and we drafted Peebles, but he's not
Not-
a Michael
right.
Pierce style guy. He's a rusher, you know what I mean? He's a smaller guy, you know. Super twitchy though. Like what I'm
Mhm.
seeing from Peebles for sure. I think he's gonna be able to get to the quarterback, and I like his attitude too. But we do need to get that bigger guy. You know, we got Travis Jones in there, Broderick Washington, but we need to replace Michael Pierce. Do you see us doing that through a veteran, or do you think a Nash Hutmaker or even like a Jason Jones, just somebody have a real chance to make this team? I know it's a crowded roster. We just talked about how hard it's going to be to make the 53, but what's your thoughts overall on kind of replacing Michael Pierce and getting some big body run defense in there?
Well, the initial guy is Travis, and I think Travis had already starting over Pierce anyway. Just looking at that room and the guys that are in it now, I think Nash has an opportunity to make the team just off body style and the way he plays. I don't know if he's good enough to make the roster right now. He has some good qualities, and you guys can check it out in the video I threw out there. But I think he's gonna be fringe. He's gonna be, if he makes the 53, he'll be 53. But I'm looking at him to be more like 58, 59, then be like a spot call up. I think he'll be a guy that can do some rundown stuff for us. If he gets caught in there on like some pass stuff, he can push the pocket. He does have a strong Reggie White-ish. Make sure you hear the ish. Slap move, and that's kind of like his go-to because he's strong as all get out. 166-0 as a wrestler. So you know how, we have wrestlers on the team and they can use that leverage and whatnot to get to what they need to do. So he has that in his back pocket as well. And he's a good football player. He's just not very athletic. And depending on what Chuck can do with him, I think he can play run defense for us. I don't think we would get much out of the pass rush from him other than straight bull rush, but I've seen Chuck do more with less, and so you never know. Once Chuck get his hands on him, he may turn out to be a lot more than I expect, but a fairly good prospect, and I do think he's the number one guy that can potentially make the roster, the UDFA to make the roster, because we had a streak going. I think we lost the streak here recently.
Yeah, it's 19 out of 20 years, but we just broke it. But most years,
to start it back up. And I haven't looked at all the UDFAs yet, but the first couple of ones I looked at, and looking at the room as well, I think he could be the one to do that. And I'll say him, and maybe one of them. I hadn't looked at the linebackers yet, but I'm just looking at where we're weak at in the roster. Maybe one of them linebackers. And I think it's one from Memphis. I think it's one from Iowa, but I hadn't looked at them yet.
Yeah, Higgins from Iowa, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. That's why I was like, I've been really looking at positions of need because no one else is making the roster, like we already talked about. So that's why I was saying, like, we need that big body run guy. And so I like Nash as well. I know you've looked at him a lot more than me. I do think that it would be smart to go with one of these younger guys, or maybe go value hunting in free agency for an older vet after June 1st.
Right. Because if he's not the guy, you definitely got to find you somebody to be a run guy behind Travis. I don't know if Broderick can do it. I've seen Broderick get moved around too much when he comes in and back up of when Pierce or Travis was hurt and Broderick had to play, I saw the run game, like, for the other team blow up when Broderick was in there. Like, the double team would move him too easy. Even solo blocks was moving him too easy. He just, for to be a guy that's, and I know Broderick is 300 pounds, but he was getting moved out of there like he was 220.
Yeah, no, we cannot have that. I think Travis Jones is going to have an insane year. This is he's a free agent as well, right? Contract year?
Maybe. Possibly.
Everyone watching.
I think this is his second year.
Is Travis Jones in a contract year? I swear he is.
Yeah, tell us in a minute.
Yeah, that's all.
Can't be on it.
Yeah. I think he is. I think, and you know how guys are at a contract year. That's how I'm feeling about Owe too, man. I'm like, and Owe's gotten better every single year. So I'm like, Owe has to get past 10 sacks this year, right?
Owe is in. This is his fifth year. So this is
No,
his
no,
fifth
this
year.
is his contract year. Yeah.
So, yep.
And Travis Jones, they're saying too, by the way.
Yeah.
So both are in contract years, which is usually a recipe for a dominant season.
Yep.
We've
Travis
seen
has played 3 years. So yep, this is his contract year. Yep.
yeah. So we're gonna okay. So who do you think we can sign? I guess we can. We can always make whatever we want to happen, but I don't know if it's likely to sign re-sign Oweh and Travis Jones. What are your thoughts on both of those guys being in contract years?
I think it's gonna suck because we're gonna lose Travis because Matabike making $100 million.
We can't lose Travis.
I don't want to, but you think they're
Yeah,
gonna pay
like,
two guys at the same
that's
position?
easily replaceable.
You think they're gonna pay 2 guys at the same position?
Do you think Travis makes as much as Matabike? He's got to make a little less, though, right?
Oh, he got to make way less, but still,
Yeah.
that's 2 big contracts at defensive tackle. Can you do that?
So do we
I mean,
re-sign
it's
Oweh
way-
instead then? I don't think we
Huh?
let both go. Are we re-signing Oweh instead? I don't think we let both go.
I don't know. I would love to keep Travis because you got them young guys and them young guys need to develop. You got Adisa, you got Mike Green you just picked up, you got T-Rob.
Ajabo still we're waiting on.
Got Ajabo. Hopefully he'll join the party this year. Yeah, them all you guys right there. They got to show up. They got to because you got a bunch of bodies in that room. You ain't got a bunch of D tackle bodies.
No,
especially
100%.
with the athleticism and the strength and what Travis has showed. So I'm to answer your question. I say we got to sign Travis. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but
I feel exactly the same way. That's why we were just talking about it. I was like, we can't let Travis go. Like I think that's a way bigger loss because getting a Mike Green, which hopefully everything pans out like we think it's going to, but like that's an absolute steal in the second round. I think he comes in with more immediate talent than we've seen in a long time, and at the perfect time too, right? Because Oweh, if everything goes as projected, is about to have a dominant year. I mean, he had his best season last year, finally got to 10 sacks, and I feel like every single edge rusher, starting edge rusher that the Ravens have like throughout history, like all the way back to like Paul Kruger and Ellerbe and like Darius Smith, Matt Judon. It just feels like there's so many like starting edge rushers that have their best season by far in their contract year, and then they go get paid. And I'm just projecting that kind of happens with Oweh this year. Like we see Oweh at the top of his game, probably has more than 10 sacks, dominant force at edge, and then is going to go get 20+ million somewhere because we don't want to pay.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Go get us 17 sacks. Let's go win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 17 would be crazy.
Go let the Eagles pay you.
Yeah.
And
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that too.
The young Bucks. Let the young Bucks do their thing after that.
Yeah, the only I guess if we don't get Ajabo taking a leap or realizing his potential at all, because I thought last year could have been that year and he couldn't stay on the field consistently. So here we are again, like hoping that Ajabo, this is the year. Adisa Isaac to me is like a little bit of an unknown. I like what he brings to the table, but just not enough Ravens film of him to even like make a true projection. Right. But if we get something solid from one of those guys, because I think everyone else is great. I mean, Tavius is going to continue to get better. He's not like a screaming off the edge guy, but he brings value, especially, in run defense too. And he brings value to this team. I think he'll keep getting better as a pass rusher too. I love the way he plays. And then,
if those four can hold the fort on first and second down, and we can get people in 3rd and 8 and run Mike Green out there with whatever other combination, I think we're good to go.
So you think Mike Green early on is like situational pass rusher?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Run him out there in a wide 9 on obvious 3rd and long situations and let him do what he do. And then teach him, the other aspects of playing NFL. But right now, he's a certified blow past you, spin move, cross chop. I'm a certified pass rush technician. Let me hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about Mike Green, man. Have you made a video on him? You dove in deep?
The next day, I think I did. I think I did
Okay.
the day we drafted him on what we did drafted him on Friday.
Friday.
So I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
did one that Saturday afternoon. I think they all run together. at
No,
this
I know,
point.
I know, I know. I
They all
know.
run
No,
together.
I'm excited. I'm excited about what Mike Green's bringing to the table, man.
Mhm.
I can't believe. Well, I guess I can with everything that was going on, but I just the way that first and second round fell for us,
Mhm.
it's almost too good to be true, man. That would have been something like somebody would have mocked up. You know, everyone does mock drafts before the season. Somebody would have mocked that up, and I would have been
Mhm.
like, "That there's no way that's happening."
I
Like, we're not
Somebody
getting
on
Malachi
Twitter,
and Mike Green.
I had posted maybe a short of Mike Green from me and Chris's show, and somebody was like, "Coach, we're not getting him at 27." And a bundle I put, I didn't say we was getting him at 27. And I thought about it because I was thinking he was gonna be gone. So after the draft, whoever it was came back and said, "Like, I respect your game, coach, because you did say this." And I'm thinking to myself, hell, I ain't know we was gonna get him at 59.
God, yeah.
I was
That's
thinking he was gonna be
insane.
gone by 27.
Me too. Me too. Even with the stuff, because like all that
Mhm.
stuff was over with. It's not pending. I see a lot of
Right.
people kind of misreporting that where they're like, he's got pending
No, it was
charges or
over.
allegations. Like it's been over with. So
Yeah.
it's do your homework and I don't know. I trust that the Ravens did their homework. I'm for taking risks too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like let's take risk and bring in elite talent
Yep.
because
Whoever was responsible for doing the leg work on it, salute them for doing their leg work. You know, I just didn't like the way he was asked the question once yesterday. So the next person basically asked the same question and reworded it. Then a
yeah,
third person came back and reworded the same question again. I'm like,
after a
holy
story.
smack, golly.
They're trying to write a story about it, man. Yeah, I know. I wish people would leave it alone. He especially because he dealt with it throughout the entire combine,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're getting asked for it at every Ravens press conference. Like, let it go, unless something else happens or comes up. Let it go because it's a boring story at this point too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're still like reporting about something that's been reported out about 1,000 times already by a ton of different places. I swear people ask questions like that because it's an easy like clickbaity story, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like, oh, I asked him about this and this is what he had to say, but he's doing the right thing by not even like really addressing it and just saying I'm locked in at football. And I don't know if you watch his press conference the other day, like he had this like look in his eyes, man, about like trying to prove everybody wrong. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I like that like confidence that he was kind of bringing to the table. I feel like he could be special, man. But I don't want to overhype it.
Right.
I'm very excited about the lift our pass rush room just got because it was thin. You know, like I was wanting to add to the trenches, but in the back of my mind, I'm also scared about edge. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, like, and
Well,
especially
the
go
room
ahead.
wasn't thin. It just didn't have no juice in it.
Yeah. Well, not
He
thin
brings
as in
juice to it.
roster bodies, but
Yeah.
like quality though. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I want like top end quality,
Mhm.
you know, and like Van Noy's been overproducing for
Right.
us. Like, which shout out to Van Noy, like killing it. But like,
Yep. Back to
I mean,
back career highs, if I'm not correct, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, right?
first Pro Bowl ever last year. Like, it's kind of insane. 12 and a half sacks. You can't just
How
rely
old
on
is he?
that production.
How old is Van Noy?
36, I think. Maybe I could be
Uh,
wrong. It's just off the top of my dome.
34. He
34.
34.
Okay. I'm aging him. All right, yeah, 34. But still, you can't just put all your eggs in that basket, and you know what I mean, and just be like, oh, Van Noy's gonna get his double-digit sacks. Like he shouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't want to rely on that. I want another like young killer coming in there, man, like getting
Mhm.
after the quarterback, you know. So I think Mike Green can be that guy.
Me
I
too.
I definitely it was much needed juice. And then hopefully, like we talked about, can we get some life out of a Jabo? You know, like is that gonna pan out? I've been shocked. He's flashed before. It's not like he can't play. It's like a
I,
consistency thing.
I did a video on Ojabo when he was coming out of Michigan, and I thought Ojabo would be better than he was. And going back and looking at some of that stuff, I'm starting to think it was an Aiden Hutchinson effect.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
starting to think it was more so people were so focused on Aiden that he, was able to do some of the things, because he had a bunch of one-on-ones. Or he hasn't fully recovered from the injury. he hasn't gotten his juice back from the injury, and it was more serious than thought to be. Now this is year 3 from the injury,
I know.
so he should be. Most people say it take 2 years. This is year 3, so if you're not gonna get your juice back, you probably ain't getting it back. So you need to, do what you need to do, or let some of these young bucks go. This probably he's second rounder, so this probably his last go round too.
That's how I'm feeling. I feel like he's either gonna take a leap and make an impact or be gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like polar opposites, and I don't know which way it's gonna go because I was very high on Ajabo early on. I thought last year would have been a year that, I'm not saying he needs to be a 10-sack guy, but like I just want to see you out there consistently on the field, making plays. And when you get, however many healthy scratches he had last year, like that's concerning. Like that tells me you ain't getting it done. Right. So yeah, hopefully we get something out of him. Let's change topics a little bit, back over to the offensive side of the ball. One of the late round picks that I'm pretty excited about is LaJohntay Wester.
Okay.
Now, I think he immediately helps us in the return game. I think that's probably why they drafted him for sure, but I don't know. And it could just be too early on, me watching too many highlights or even training camp stuff, or rookie mini camp stuff. But I'm liking like his route running too. I think he provides like a lot of explosiveness and quickness. And for a 6th round wide receiver, I'm like kind of shocked that he fell that far the more I'm looking into him. What's your thoughts on Wester and just the receiving room as a whole? Do you think he can push? I mean, right now we obviously got Zay and Bateman at the top, DeAndre Hopkins, new addition, Tez Walker, 2nd year, Tylan Wallace was brought back, and then Wester. I think that's the room.
Yeah, Wester, I thought initially was just a return guy, but upon going in and looking at his tape, and I had watched all the Colorado games like on the TV copy, but going back and looking at his tape, he's a lot more than just a return guy. I don't know where he would get receiver reps just looking at the room, but if somebody slip up and let him get receiver reps, I think it's gonna be tough to pull him back. Now I don't think he'll be a superstar or nothing like that. I just think he's a good slot receiver. He can get in out of his breaks well. He's sneaky quick. He don't have long speed, but he at let me see how tall is he? I think he's like 5'8". Oh, I got it right here. It say 5'11". He ain't 5'11". Forget that.
Yeah, okay.
He's not 5'11". He might be 5'8". 8 of 12 on contested catches. Almost 1,000 yards. Was the number 2 to Travis Hunter because Jimmy was hurt most of the year. And pretty much he was their 3rd down receiver. 3rd and 3 for the most part, they going to LaJohntay. Now 3rd and a little longer, they probably going to Travis, but for the most part, he was a 3rd down receiver. He was extremely efficient. He could get in and out of breaks. He could work the middle of the field. Block his butt off unless you just overpower him. Didn't mind getting there and blocking. Very nuanced in his routes. Understand leverage. Know how to get in DB's blind spots. The only cutback, he's just so small.
Yeah.
He just like this side I'm looking at now says 5'11", 163. And like I legit don't think he's 5'11". Like if I was a bet man, I wouldn't bet he was 5'11".
Yeah, so health could be a concern at receiver too. But I'm with you. I think regardless, unless there's a lot of injuries, I don't think that he would be pushing for a lot of reps at receiver, but he could be in on some plays. I mean, we were running who did we sign last year? Steven Sims, like little quick guy on some like wide reverses and stuff, like I feel like if Wester's active as a returner, and it wouldn't be unsmart to put him in some packages at receiver because he's active on your roster. I think he provides some home run ability. And I mean, let's say he doesn't make a huge impact at receiver. I'm ecstatic about what he could bring to our return game though, because we needed some juice there. And do you think he'll play kick returner too, or just punt returner?
Definitely think punt returner.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he could be a kick returner with Keaton. I think him and Keaton could be kick returners, mainly because he don't mind blocking. he don't mind getting there and blocking. So I don't know how well Keaton would in turn block for him, but I see with my eyes he don't mind getting there, mixing it up. So I think he could play kick return, and be the other returner, whoever the second guy is. So, but the thing is, Tylen has more special team options than him, because I don't think he could be a gunner. Tylen can do that. I don't think Wester can run down on your kickoff. Tylen can do that, and then Tylen can still be your punt returner too, if need be. I think Wallace has a little bit more special team availability, versatility, than Wester. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the thing that maybe keeps Wester either on the practice squad or dare I say even cut, because Tylen has, he can do more, and in the NFL, the more you can do.
Yeah, but we're not going to go with only 5 receivers. I feel like Wester's going to make the roster just because who else would make it as a receiver?
I mean, you got a bunch of guys out there. You got
Wade, I guess,
for Ole Miss.
Yeah,
you got Wade. You got Cunningham. You got Tez. You got
well, Tez will make it. I was just saying, like with Tez and Tylen, that's only 5.
So
I figured we'd have one more, which I was just assuming Wester.
Bait Flowers, D-Hop,
Tez, and Tylen
Wallace.
That's
okay.
5.
So you might have one spot left. Yeah.
That's why I was thinking Wester might just get that, because I'd be shocked if we only go 5 receivers. So that's why I was
probably have to be Sims.
Yeah,
because Sims played a lot at the end, didn't it? Not Sims.
But he went somewhere else. He signed somewhere.
But I don't mean Sims. Who was the receiver that played a lot toward the end? Because Sims the one came from Houston and was kick returning for us. So I don't mean
he did play at receiver too, though. It was Tylen and Sims, and at the end of the playoffs when everyone was down, it was Tylen and Steven Sims.
We had another receiver that played though too that they called up off the practice squad. I can't think of his name. Miller. That's what T.Y. said. Miller.
Anthony Miller.
Miller.
We signed him to a future reserve, I think. Yeah. So he's an option. Okay,
you're gonna have to fight Miller for that last spot, because Miller has some quality reps. Sure did.
Yeah, but if they get him the leading punt returner guy, then he's definitely getting that 6th spot. Yeah.
If he takes that, if he just go in there and take that punt returner spot, he'd probably definitely be that 6th receiver. But yeah, Anthony Miller is the guy I was talking about, definitely.
Yeah, I forgot about him too. And he actually, like you said, he contributed last year too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the new kickoff rule? The NFL is clearly trying to force kickoffs now, because if you kneel it or it's a touchback at all, you get it at the 35, which has changed drastically. Like if you just growing up watching football my whole life, it's always been the 20. Like that in my mind, I'm like, okay, the 20 is like starting field position. And then it's just been moving and moving and moving. And now we're at the 35-yard line. I feel like teams are almost forced to try and pop it up and hitting in that landing zone, which could put more emphasis on needing a strong, special teams and return game just to be able to take advantage of that.
I feel like you're going to need more tight ends, more linebackers, more running backs for that. Because that's your fast, but not too bulky. That's the whole bite. It's your tight ends, your linebackers, your running backs. Them the guys that you're gonna have to have on your team, and to do that, because you're gonna need linebackers blocking tight ends, and you're gonna need some receivers blocking a few DBs and maybe safeties, and you need running backs to be able to hit the hole. Because I saw somebody run a version of power last year. I don't remember who it was, but they didn't block the 2 guys on the far, like they kicked it to, let's just say they kicked it to the whoever the team's kicking off, they kicked it to the left side. Well, they didn't block the 2 guys on the far right. They brought the 2 guys on the end, kicked out the two guys on the left, and then they hit they leg block with the offensive, the other guy that wasn't returning, and he hit it right up the middle. I think the only person that got him, he might have got tripped, and it might have been us. But Keith Mitchell had an opportunity. It was us. Keith Mitchell had an opportunity to run it back. I think he got tripped at the last minute. But it was a version of power on a kickoff return. So and especially if you start popping it up, you can run, a whole bunch of stuff that you got to get tricky with it. But you got to have an idea where they like to kick it at. Now, if you get one of those kickers that can do some everything like we used to have, then you got the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of trial and error and mind games going to be, and a lot of strategy attempted to figure this new kickoff out. But I do see a lot more returns, coming out of it just because they keep moving the field position. I feel like they're forcing that. There's a comment here. Coach Evans looks like a no nonsense football coach. What kind of coach were you? Or are you?
Old school. I was old school, man. Them kids, they don't like me no more because I was old school.
Really?
Yeah, I don't play them games.
So you are no nonsense. That comment was accurate.
We had when I went to this new school, we had probably the best player in the county, and he didn't want to do summer workouts, and so he thought that just because he was the best player in the county that he was still gonna play when the fall jamboree came. I was like, nope. And the fall jamboree came and we started off losing, and the head coach came, hey, you want to put what you call me in? We ain't doing too. Nope. I lose before I put him in and do that and did nothing the whole summer. Forget him. And about a half a quarter later, we started scoring, and the kids ain't thought about him no more. And we actually went on ahead and won the jamboree. If I'd have put him in, what kind of message that would have sung? I mean, would have sent to the rest of them kids that bust their butt the whole summer.
Yeah,
man, you got to do something the right way.
Yeah, it's the best way. No, I agree, man. I support that for sure. Let's so out of this rookie class here that we didn't really talk about in detail, who's sticking out to you? Who are you really excited about that maybe not even just this year, but just in general that could you said maybe out of 5 out of 11 might make the 53. Who's one of those 5 that we haven't talked about much that you're pumped about for now and the future?
He's not in that picture.
Okay. Undrafted guy?
Yeah, number 88. He was a camp
oh, I did see
camp invite.
That. Okay, yeah.
He was a camp invite. Yeah, tight end. But
all right,
out of those guys, bring the picture back up for a minute.
Okay, all right.
Out of those guys up there though, I'm excited to see the development of Carson Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited looking at his tape. I think right now the only part of his game that is NFL ready is down blocking. I think he has the potential to be very, very good. He's not ready yet, but when I see him down block, I see him with his hat placement, I see him with his hand placement, and he understands what it takes to move people. In that aspect of his game, I think that part of his game is good. I think he has good feet. When he moves, he doesn't lumber. He actually runs. He actually looks like an athlete when he runs and he gets in space. And he has this nasty, nasty temperament that I didn't see from a lot of top guys. Like me and Chris talked about watching top offensive linemen. There wasn't a lot of finishers, like guys that play to the whistle and try to beat you up and just are nasty finishers. He was one of those guys. And so out of the 30 or so I looked at, it may have been 7 or 8. But he was one of them that had this finishing mentality. But I'm interested to see 8 months from now, this time next year, the development of Carson Vincent and if he picks up on everything that Ronnie's doing and what Warhop is teaching him to be a good tackle in the NFL, because he has the physical tools to do it. I just don't think he's had the greatest coaching to do it. Because I don't think he has a bunch of bad habits. He just don't have good habits. And that's a good thing about it, because if he'd went to Tennessee or Alabama or somewhere, and then they would have had to break the bad habits, then build up new habits, that's going to extend the timeline. I don't think he has bad habits to break. He just got to be taught the right way to do stuff.
That's great insight, man. No, I love that. I love that. I think, do you think so? Let's say he does develop. Is that planned for like when Ronnie's gone potentially? Like that far out? Yeah.
I'm thinking so. Maybe 2 years from now.
Right.
Ronnie play this year, next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start the transition. So what Ronnie signed, a 3-year deal?
Yeah, but that last year is not like we can get out of the last year. It's really a 2-year deal, which we're not getting out of. So Ronnie's pretty safe this year and next year, and then the Ravens can make a decision. Right. So if there is a younger guy, yeah,
him or maybe even Emory Jones, you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
Well, I like that we attacked O-line and added some options. You know what I mean? That was a much needed thing, man. That was a much needed thing. What else is on your mind? What are you excited for this season, man?
I'm excited to see year 3 of Todd Monken.
Yeah,
I know
version 3.0.
we
You know Todd, right?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I
Or
visited with
you've
him.
worked with him
Yeah, I
before.
worked with him
Yeah.
for a day. I'm excited to see the progress. We put up all those numbers with, and a lot of people not gonna like this, with a sus O-line. And people
Oh,
don't
yeah. I
they
agree.
don't think it
I've
was
been there.
suspect because of the numbers. They don't think it was suspect. But our O-line was sus, man. Just,
Yep.
let's be real about it. We put up those numbers because of Lamar, because of Derrick Henry, and we did have some spot play. You know, Valele played well in spots. The other 3 guys played well enough, and Macari was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
Like we crack jokes on Falele, but Falele was not the worst offensive
No,
lineman.
Macari was getting moved.
Macari was trash. He was trash truck juice.
And he got a solid deal
I
in
know.
Jacksonville. Decent.
He finessed them
Yeah.
big time. So I'm happy for him, but the Jags will find out soon and very soon, unless there ain't no good D tackles in the AFC North. I mean, South, AFC South.
Yeah.
But
No,
he got
I
finessed.
don't.
So I'm excited to see if they can put up numbers similar to what they done, what kind of wrinkles he adds to his staples, I mean, and to see what Lamar looks like in the 3rd year with the same coordinator. Because this will be the first time. How many years did he have Roman? 3?
So not his rookie year. It was 3. Yeah.
3? Okay, so this is year 3. He had 1 year with a mixture of 2 guys. 3 years with Roman. This will be his 3rd year with Monken in what I would call a competent offense. So
Yes.
I'm excited to see what that looks like, especially after the numbers that he put up last year. You got probably your best wide receiver room. I still think you have the best tight end duo, despite how Mark finished the year.
No, I agree.
Your backfield is up there as far as, as a whole, especially with a healthy Keaton back, a healthy Justice, and a healthy Derrick Henry. Your O-line is, you got 4 returning starters. I'm excited, man. You could ask for more, but I mean, you pretty solid. You pretty solid up there. You got, like I said, you got a bunch of guys returning, and y'all run the same system. You just got to build on what you did last year. You had a great numerical season.
Yeah, 100%. And you see Lamar tweet out the other day. He's like, I'm trying to take it up a notch, 25, 2026. I don't know how he takes it up a notch. That's what I would say. I was talking about it. I was talking about it yesterday, but I feel like he can though, because like to your point of what you were just saying, Todd Monken coming over evolved this offense, right? So like, and then we saw a new Lamar, and Lamar is improving year after year. And I think not only just in like mechanics and arm and consistency and accuracy, more mental too.
Yes.
Like I feel like Lamar diagnosing defenses at the line of scrimmage, going, actually putting in a check, realizing where pressure's coming from, going through the progressions downfield. Like, it's not that Lamar could never do all these things, but we didn't see it consistently early on in his career, whether that's coaching development or just he just needed some time. He's always had a ridiculous amount of talent, but now we're seeing the talent combined with smart play.
Right.
And it's weird to say that it could be better than last year. I mean, 41 passing touchdowns, 4 picks, 45 total.
One pick.
One pick. Yeah. The playoff one was bad. That's on him. But the rest of them, man, like I agree. Not even Lamar's fault. And he could level up. I think we'll consistently see him level up. And the fact that we saw him evolve the way he did, I think really gives me confidence that he's got a long, longevity left in his career. This isn't going like, even when he slows down a little bit, we've already seen a slower Lamar than even what we saw last year. Like when he put on a little weight for a couple years, he was a little bit of a slower version than we're seeing right now. So when he slows down a little bit, like in his 30s, he'll still be crazy athletic, but he, just might slow down top end speed and a little agility. I feel like his arm's going to catch up and pass, even past that, because we're just seeing him get better and better every single year. So to think that there's another level to Lamar is absolutely ridiculous. But
as his legs come down, his arm and his mentality will go
better.
Up. You might see a better version of 8, and that's crazy to even fathom.
Yeah, and that's a long career ahead then.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, he could play another, I don't know, what is he, 28? He could play
Yeah.
another
At least
8,
10.
10 years. Yeah, easy.
At least 10.
That's exciting, man.
Just
That's
imagine him being to the point where he could just stand back there and dissect stuff.
yeah.
And
I
only
think
need to
he's
use his
getting
legs.
there.
Only use his legs just to bounce around and maybe run if stuff's covered down the field. That's and like you said, we saw a lot of that this year.
Yeah,
He said he was
100%.
standing there giving his guys opportunities to get open.
I think we would have seen it even more, which is crazy because he went nuts. But I think we would have even seen a better year if he wasn't scrambling for his life half the time every time we played a strong defensive front.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if we had better offensive line play where he could just chill in the pocket for a little bit, he's going to make the right decision 99.9% of the time. Like, he's not putting the ball in harm's way. He's just dodging a ridiculous amount of pressure and is the best in the world at doing that, by the way. And then making plays that are off script and just insane, like backyard football plays. But like, can we just like build a wall so that he doesn't have to do that? You know what I mean? I don't want him to have to do that. Maybe occasionally, but I don't want that to be the consistent way he has to play.
It's crazy because I'm trying to think of who has the ability to just sit there right now? Because I think O-line play as a whole in the league is down.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody really had, even though the Eagles have the best O-line, when they pass, Jalen ain't just quote unquote sitting there.
That's a good point.
Sitting there, doing like when Jalen runs, he got the Red Sea. But as far as just sitting there passing, he ain't got all day. Pat definitely don't have all day. Joe don't have all day because Joe throw it to covered people and they just catch the ball. I don't know of a guy that just sits in the pocket and throw the ball. Matt Stafford gets pummeled. He just got a rocket arm. I think O-line play across the league is just down because the defensive players are so much better.
You think that? Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you real quick. What do you think that is? You think it's just too many athletic guys, too many strong guys that are just dominant on the defensive line, that the offensive line's not keeping up with that progression?
Because you can't say, okay, I'm gonna get smaller and more athletic on the offensive line, and then you can't run the ball.
Yeah, you're gonna get moved. Yeah.
So that offensive line is just one position where you can't quote unquote change your body type. Because even us, we got Linderbaum, a smaller guy, but when you put one of those like a DJ Reader type in front of Linderbaum, I mean, we have issues if they get one-on-one blocks. And I like Linderbaum, but those is 3 or 4 guys that you put right there in front of Linderbaum, it's problems. And that's those strong, stout nose tackles like Reader. If Chris Jones just happened to be at nose and get a one-on-one, it's about 4 or 5 guys in the league that give Linderbaum like trouble for real. And that wrestling don't mean jack because he gets suplexed.
Yeah. We're gonna still extend him though, you think, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
To me, it didn't make sense to give him the franchise, not the franchise, that 5th year option.
23 million.
23, and then Creed Humphreys make 18.
Yeah, it's 5.4 million more than the highest paid center. No way.
Right.
No way. Let me shout out a few of these super chats. What's up, Sean Coles? He said, much love. Thanks for everything. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the 5. Joe Jenkins, I think this year will be our best offense yet. Top 5 D2 if everyone stays healthy. Go Ryan. Go Coach Evans. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys watching, man. We got a solid amount of viewers in here, and you guys have been showing love so much lately. I appreciate all of you. We've been on here for an hour. You got anything else on your mind, or you wanna call it a night, man?
I'm good, man. I'm Gucci. I'm just happy to come on and talk a little ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than me talking to the camera.
Yeah, I know. That's how I start to feel too. And like, I wasn't going live enough. I know we went live before on your channel, I think, but I don't think we went live on mine. And then I went live with like Engraven and Hendo. I'm going live with Hendo on Thursday this week too. Okay. But I'm trying to go live like once or twice a week because why not? You know, it's such a nice break to talk to other like-minded fans and creators, you know what I mean? And like, I just love that we're real fans of the game and this team. And like, there's, you could just tell like the passion's there. And I don't know, that to me, that's the best content to watch. I've always gravitated towards people that just like love the team and obviously are knowledgeable about it, but that passion, that energy, just it translates, you know what I mean, through the screen. And like, if we lose a game, I want to go consume content where like that person's pissed off, you know, like
Right.
I don't want like to beat around the bush and you know, just be like vague about things before a business.
Right.
I want fans, man. So
Yeah, because I
yeah.
sometimes I have to postpone my lives after the game, because I especially if we lose a certain way, because I be pissed.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't even go live because I always make the video, and then the video is like, I don't know, I just like editing and adding highlights in and stuff, and like
Mhm.
I want to capitalize on it like right after the game. But yeah, it's the emotions are running. As soon as you know you end the game, turn the camera on, the emotions are going. But that's the best way though. Like
Yeah.
that's the best way. You know, the more comfortable you get as like a creator and talking to the camera, you just end up like being yourself. You know, and I think that's just the best way because it translates that you're a real fan and like we all love this team or we wouldn't be here right now consuming this. You know what I mean? So nah, it's awesome. I appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna have to
Problem.
keep
We-
going
we-
live. Whenever.
Especially throughout the summer when it slows down.
Yeah. No, it's been crazy lately, but I know it'll chill out a little bit, but there's
Mhm.
always stuff to talk about. I've been doing like draft regrades throughout the entire history of the franchise.
It's been
So I've
going
been
well.
trying the views are not going well on those. People don't click those as much, but the people that do watch it seem to like it. I think the like update videos and stuff people like the most probably,
Mhm.
but the draft regrades they're fun to like go back through. You know what I mean? I just did
Mhm.
2018 and like realizing how stacked of a class that was. You know, 2022, 2018 just really stand out in the last 7 years. I mean, 2018 is just a legendary class. You put that up there with like 96, you know what I mean? Getting Lamar and Mark Andrews and Orlando and like
Mhm.
it's yeah, it's crazy. But
I thought Hurst was gonna be good too. I did.
I mean, I think he was a solid player, obviously not worth first round pick looking
Right.
back. Especially when you get Mark Andrews in the third round, you know what I mean? That definitely changed things and changed his role too. He didn't get as much of an opportunity early on, which
Yep.
could have hurt his confidence. But regardless, that class was crazy. Even the late round picks like Bradley Bozeman
Mhm.
and Zach Sealer that we ended up losing in the 7th round.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it was just a deep draft. So
That was
yeah,
Ozzy last one, I think.
last one. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Gives us Lamar Jackson.
What a going away gift, Ozzy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
Yeah,
all right, Coach.
I'm trying to
Go
do
ahead.
some more of that stuff too to get me some of them Ks behind my views too. The 24 Ks and the 27 Ks. I'm trying to give me some of them too.
Man, that's been all everyone watching, man. They've been going nuts lately. I don't know what's going on. It's mainly like the draft stuff kind of kicked things off,
Mhm.
and then just the update styles, which I've been doing for years. Like the you know, like going over the updates of what's going on through camp and all that. Like I've had the similar format. I think it's just people are like maybe getting more aware of it or whatever. I'm not really sure. But no, don't do the draft regrades. They don't get any views. I'm just doing that for fun. And there are people that enjoy it. Like
Mhm.
everyone that does watch it likes it, but they don't get a lot of views. If you're looking
Gotcha.
to try and grow the channel, that's not the move.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no. You're killing it too, man. And everyone needs to go subscribe to Coach right now. I'm telling you, like he knows so much about football. I dare you to watch any video and tell me you didn't learn something.
I appreciate
So
it.
no, for real, man. Like I learn something every time I watch your videos. So like your channel is growing too, and you're bringing quality and you're bringing a lot of value to the Ravens community. So we appreciate you as well, man.
Thank you.
No doubt. Well, thanks for coming on. We'll have to run it again soon, and appreciate all you guys watching, tapping in, showing love on all the videos. It means the world. And yeah, have a beautiful night. And I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Take us out, Ray.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.